Welcome to the Nanoanalysis Lab. Here we specialise in the characterisation and analysis of materials for energy and healthcare applications. In our group we work a lot on solar cells and light sensors, and then we also work with sensors for medical observation and diagnosis. This is a Raman spectrometer. We use this to measure the molecular vibrations of polymers and small molecules. It can tell us lots of information about what's happening right down on the nanoscale and how the polymers are packing together or how they are interacting with other layers in our devices. One of the things we specialise in our group is doing in situ measurements. So shown here we can measure the Raman spectroscopy whilst under electrical bias or whilst under gas exposure for our sensing. We can also do Raman spectroscopy at the same time as the AFM using this sample stage here. This is the AFM, which is an atomic force microscopy. We use this to measure the topography of our samples. The sample is put in here and we lower down a very fine tip onto the surface of the sample, and this measures the surface, giving us really beautiful images of topography which can really help us understand the morphology of our samples. This is a Fluorescence Spectrometer, so we use this to do photoluminescence measurements and also time correlated single photon counting. We can do this with thin films mostly, just in the sample chamber for the steady state. We also have this cryostat, which means that we can measure at very low temperatures and we can control the temperature right up to around about 300 degrees. This is our air photoemission and Kelvin probe. In here we measure the energetics of our materials. So we put thin films on the sample stage in here, and then we lower the gold tip down above our sample, and this vibrates above the sample and helps us measure the HOMO level and the work function, and we do this especially for our blends so we can understand how the energetics of blends are working together.